Welcome to my course entitled Learn 500 Arabic Words with Flashcards plus Grammar Essentials. My name is Ajmer and I'm the CEO and founder of ArabicEasy.com, which is a website dedicated to learning Arabic online. This course on Udemy is about learning 500 common words from everyday use and also selected words from the Quran, which is traditionally a reference for classical Arabic language. Each word is shown with a picture to help you remember the word, and where relevant, the words are shown in plurals and feminine. The words are also shown transliterated for easy read. The course also consists of Grammar Essentials, which starts with the very basics about Arabic letters and vowels, and gradually teaches you to start building sentences. There are two main types of sentences in Arabic: nominal and verbal sentences. The first part of the course focuses on building nominal sentences, and the second part is about building verbal sentences. The grammar section is designed to give you quick understanding of the concepts without scary technical grammar terms. At the end of the course, you will have learned 500 Arabic words and the essentials of Arabic grammar. And with this knowledge, you will be able to mix and match words to make thousands of complete sentences. The course is ideal for most beginners. For example, those who never learned Arabic before, those who can read Arabic but do not understand much of what they read, those who have small vocabulary. While learning how to build nominal sentences, you will also learn definite and indefinite nouns, pronouns, adjectives, cases, feminines, plurals, duals, prepositions, adverbs of time and place, possessives, demonstratives, comparatives. For verbal sentences, you will learn about verb tenses, perfect and imperfect, simple verbs conjugation, template for building verbal sentences. The course consists of 100 lectures, and if you complete one lecture at a day, you will complete the course in 3 to 4 months. Hope you enjoy the course. The Arabic language, Lesson 1. The Arabic language is part of a group of languages called Semitic languages. Some of the Semitic languages are said to be dead languages, meaning that they are not used anymore. For example, the Biblical Hebrew, the Akkadian, Syriac, and Ethiopian. And the ones used today are Arabic, Amharic, Modern Hebrew, and Tigrinya. Two features of the Arabic language are the abjad writing system and the triliteral roots. The first one concerns the way Arabic is written, and the triliteral roots is about how the vocabulary is built in Arabic. In the abjad writing system, each main symbol generally stands for a consonant. To demonstrate this concept, we will use English symbols. For example, we have these series of consonants, and this stands for the dog is sick. As you can see, I've removed all the vowels and leave the consonant. And in the writing system, the vowels are added on top and bottom of the consonants. So if you had to do that in English, it will look like this. So the, T-H-E, so the E is not part of the word. It's on top of the consonant. Dog, D-O-G. The O, which is the vowel, is added on top of the D, which is a consonant. So all the consonants in each word are put together like this, TH, DG, S, FCK, and the vowels needed to make the word are put on top. So this is what's meant by abjad writing system. In modern written Arabic, most of the time, the vowels are not written. This is an example of a word in Arabic. So each of these are consonants. So alif, lam, ya, waw, mim. All of these are consonants. And these symbols here are the vowels. This is how abjads work. And in modern Arabic, as we said, the vowels are not written like this. So with practice, you will be able to read a word without the vowels. Now let's look at the triliteral roots. To illustrate this concept, I will use a series of English words. Evolve, evolving, revolve, evolution, revolution, volution, revolving. So as we can see, all of these words have VOL at the base. And these words having VOL at their base have similarity in their meaning. So it has the idea of circling, something circling. In Arabic, this triliteral root system is used to develop vocabulary. So at the base in Arabic, there are 3 root letters most of the time. And these 3 root letters will be modified by adding some vowels, some additional consonants, in such a way that it would give new words. But the meaning will always be close enough to each other. And the science behind changing a word from the root to the new word is called morphology. So morphology should be studied in Arabic if you have to gain a good understanding of vocabulary and meaning of words. To illustrate this concept of morphology, I will take an example in English. So cat change into cats. So I've added an S. So I've taken a simple word cat and changed it into cats. And we understand with S that this thing is now in the plural. Can we do that for other words? House, houses. So it works the same. I've taken a simple word, house, and changed it into houses. An elephant, change into elephants. So you can see that each of these words have been changed into the plural by simply adding an S. The ways to change a word into its plural is part of the larger science called morphology. To illustrate the triliteral root system, we'll take an example. We'll take 2 sets of 3 root letters and compare how they change with some morphological rule. One set of 3 letters will be Dal, Ha, and Ba. These are 3 root letters that we'll use. And we'll also compare with another set of 3 letters. It's Fa, Te, and Ha. We'll apply one morphological rule to these 2 sets of letters. And the rule is to add a certain vowel on each of the letters. And this vowel is called Fatha. And we get this. So we've just taken each of these letters and add a fatha on each. And we get this word. And this word means he went. So we'll apply the same rule to the second set of root letters. So we'll add the vowels as we did in the first case. We get this word, and it is fataha. And the meaning is he opened. So as we can see, the meaning is he went here and he opened here. There is a similarity in the pronoun. So it's he, and here also it's he. Second similarity is that the two are in the past tense. He went, he opened. Let's apply a second morphological rule. So this rule is a bit more complicated. I've added another letter here. Apart from these three root letters, I've added another letter. So it's 1, 2, 3 root letters and another letter here in black. And I've changed the vowel a bit. So we have a different vowel on top. And this one means we are going. Now, if you want to apply the same morphological rule to the second set of letters, what should I do in this case? And what is the meaning that I expect to have? So I expect to have the meaning of we are opening. I want to apply the same morphological rule that I used from these three letters that gave me this word. I want to use this rule here. So to use this rule, I have to add this letter first, and then the three root letters. So these three letters with these vowels and this additional letter here. This is how it should look like. And we get the meaning of we are opening. So I've applied one morphological rule from the root letters to get this word, and the same rule applied to a second different set of letters to get this word. And then I've applied a second morphological rule to these letters to get another word, and the same rule has been used to get another word in the second set of root letters. And the meaning are similar. Here it's past tense, past tense. Here it's present and present. Here it's he, and we. The smallest units in the Arabic language are letters. For example, ze, shin, ya, mim. These are individual letters in Arabic language. And when letters are put together, we get words. Each word comprises of many letters put together, and each one has a meaning. So here we have three words. And when we put a couple of words together, we get sentences. So this is one sentence. معلمون عادب عليها. Letters. Lesson 2. This table shows a comparison between English language and Arabic language. So we look at each of these rows and compare the English and the Arabic. So first, number of letters. In English we have 26. In Arabic we have 28. Capital letters. In English, each letter has a capital form. So we have the capital letter A and we have the small letter a. But in Arabic, there is no capital letters. Direction. The direction of writing is left to right in English, but it's right to left in Arabic. So how many consonants we have in English? Most of them are consonants, except 5 letters which are vowels. So A, E, I, O, U are vowels, and the rest are consonants out of these 26. Out of these 28 in Arabic, all letters are consonants. So these 28 letters do not include vowels. So the vowels in Arabic are written separately on top of the letters that makes up the 28 letters. In the printed form, in English, it can be written as separate or cursive. In Arabic, it's always cursive. Handwriting form can be written in separate or cursive. In Arabic, it's always cursive. So cursive means when you link letters together in the words. And the last row Are letters dependent on position in the word? In English, yes, it's dependent if written in cursive form, no if written in non-cursive form. But in Arabic, since it's always cursive, it has separate start, middle, and end form. So when we learn how to write in Arabic, we have to learn the form of the letter when it's written at the beginning, at the middle, or at the end. So here are the letters, the 28 letters in Arabic. And here we have this Hamza. Hamza is the same as Alif. And this will be explained later on. Next, we'll go through each of these letters and see how they are written, how they are spelled, how they're written in the different forms, the start, the middle, and the end of the words. But before that, we'll look at how we will read the tables. So this is an example of the table that we'll use for each letter. In the middle here, we will see how the letter is written in separate form. In the right hand side, on top, we'll show how the letter is written when it's at the start of a word. And here, it will tell us when it's at the middle of a word. Here, it shows how it's written at the end of a word. And here, it shows a word that has an approximate sound to the sound in Arabic. For example, here we see loch. Loch is Scottish, and the ch is kh. So this is the sound of this letter, kh. And this is the name of the letter here, kh. And here in the middle, it shows the Arabic chat letter to represent this letter. So if you are chatting and you have to write kh, you can write kh. Sometimes I would put an S like this, which is italic, and just to show that the S is not exactly the same as the S in English language. The line here shows a reference line where the letter should be written. So let's start with the first letter of the Arabic alphabet. The first letter is called alif, and the sound is produced by the throat. When this letter has vowels, it will be a, I, or U. So here we see the shape of the letter at the beginning of a word. I've added an X here to show that no letter can connect with the alif. So the X here is just to show that the next letter is never connected with the alif. When alif is in the middle of a word, it will have this shape. And the X here also means that there won't be any connection with the next letter in the word. And if alif is at the end of a word, it will have the same shape as in the middle. The next letter in the alphabet is B, and it sounds the same as we say in bat. So the sound is B. This is how we write it at the beginning of a word. This is the middle of a word, and at the end, it's shaped like that. And in the Arabic chat script, we can write it as simply a B. Next letter, T. So this letter is called T. It's like the T in English. T. In the separate form, it's written like this. At the start, we write it like this, middle and end. It's like T in tan. Next letter, Th. Th is written like a T, except it has a third dot. And it's written on top of the line, just touching the line. And this is called a Th. Th is like the sound TH in thunder. It's using the tongue and the lower teeth to make the sound. At the start of a word, it's written like this, at the middle, and at the end. This is a script for Arabic chat. TH, th. Next letter is jim. Jim is like the G in gem, j. When it's at the start of a word, it's written like this. This is how it's written in the middle, and this is how it's written at the end of a word. The next letter is ha. This is a bit tricky to make for starters. This is because we are used to the ha, like hat, but we have to make it more guttural. Ha, hat, but more guttural, as in ha. So at the start is like this, middle and end, and the number 7 is used to denote the ha in Arabic chat script. Next letter is ho. Ho is like a ha in written form, except that it has a dot on top of it. It's like the loch in Scottish. Ho. Dal is like d in English, Dalton, and at the start it's written like this, in the middle, and at the end. The X here means that no letter will come after this connected to it. So there could be letters after dal in a word, but the letter won't be connecting to the D. So we cannot connect this and something else. Val. Val is written like dal, except that it has a dot on top of it. The sound of val is like the TH in that. So it's the. Ra. Ra is like the R in rumble. It's pretty much like the English ra. And here also, no letter can be connected to ra after it, but it can be connected before it. The letter Z, the sound is like the Z in Zach. Z. Here also, Z cannot be connected with the following letter. Seen. The sound of seen is like the S in sun. Sheen is written like a seen, but with 3 dots on top of it. The sound of sheen is like the SH of shut. Sh. The sound of sword is like the S, but it's a bit different from the S. To make this sound, we have to shape the mouth like a round, as if we are eating something and our mouth is full. S, s. Bod. Bod also, you have to make the mouth shaped like a round, or as if our mouth is full. Bo. It's not d, it's bo. The sound is inside the mouth, and the mouth is as if it's full. This is to. It's different from te and to. To is as we are saying te when our mouth is full. And next we have a letter that looks similar to a to. It's a vo. To make the to sound, we have to make the mouth as if it's full. It's like a th, but our mouth is full. Vo. Vo. And we have ein. Ein is a bit difficult to utter if you have never learned Arabic before. It's like an but deep from the throat. Ah. And we have roin. Roin is a bit like the r in French, Henri. And we have the f. F is easy to make. It's like the F in English, fun. Qaf. Qaf is different from ke. We have qa and ke. Qa is when you make your mouth as if it's full. That's where you get this sound qa as opposed to ke. Qaf. Ke is like the English ke, kitten. K, k. The letter is calf. The letter lam is like the L in English. Lotte, lo, lo. Meme is like the M in English, like mum. And we have noon. Noon is like the N in nose. It's similar to the English N. N. Wow is like W in English, like in the word wow. And wow doesn't connect with the next letter when it's at the start and middle. And we have h sound, h. The articulation is the deepest inside the throat. We have y. Y is like the English Y, like in the word yes, y. In Arabic, there are 3 vowels, and each vowel has a long form and a short form. The short version is a, I, u. And the long version is a, I, u. And this is just a phonetic representation of the vowels. Here this table shows how the vowels are written. So we have the 3 types of vowel: fatha, kasra, and dhamma. So fatha has a sound a. Kasra has a sound I. And dhamma has a sound u. So fatha is like the a in cat. A, cat. Kasra is like the I in kitten. So kitten, I. And dhamma is like the u. So it's a, I, u. In the short vowel, it will be written as a diagonal line on top of the letter. The kasra is written under it, under the letter, and it's also a diagonal line. And the dhamma is like a little 9 on top of the alphabet. When we have this symbol on top of any letter, it will have the sound, the vowel a with it. When you have this under any letter, it will have the vowel I. And we have this symbol on top of a letter, it will have the sound u, the vowel u. Now this is the long vowel. So fatha exists in a long vowel version. So the long vowel is made up of the fatha symbol, and an alif, the letter alif. So any letter with a fatha and an alif would sound like a. Same here for kasra. We have a kasra and a ya. So when we have a kasra followed by a ya, it becomes a long I. And dhamma on top of a letter and a waw, it becomes a long dhamma. It sounds like oo. Fatha means opening. Kasra means breaking. And dhamma means closing. This is an example where we have 2 letters, ba and jim, that we apply the vowels to them. So we have the 3 vowels, fatha. The 3 rows here are vowels, fatha, kasra, and dhamma. The short vowel will become a ba and the symbol for fatha on top of it. And for kasra, it's ba and the symbol under it. For dhamma, it's ba plus the dhamma on top of it. So it will become ba, bi, and bu. For the long version of it, it's a ba connected to an alif, and there is a fatha here. It's ba. Kasra the B with the long kasra is B, the kasra, and ya. For Dhamma, it's B, Dhamma, and a wow. So that will become Ba, Bi, Bu. Here it's Ba, Bi, Bu. For Jim, it's the same. For the long vowel, it's Ja, Ji, Ju. We're comparing the Jim in the short fatha and the long fatha. It's Ja, Ja. Comparing the Jim with the short kasra and the long kasra, it's Ji and Ji. Here it's Ju and Ju. So here are examples of short vowels for these letters. So A, B, T, Th, J, H, Kho. Kasra. So this letter with kasra is I, B, T, Fi, Ji, Hi, Khi. For Dhamma, it's U, Bu, Tu, Thu, Ju, Hu, and Khu. The other letters, D, The, Ro, Z, Se, Sh, So. For kasra and this letter, Di, Vi, Ri, Zi, Si, Shi, Si. For Dhamma, it's Du, Dhu, Ru, Zu, Su, Shu, Su. Next, Do, To, Vo, A, Ro, Fe, Ko. For kasra, Di, Ti, Dhi, I, Ri, Fi, Ki. For Dhamma, it's Du, Tu, Dhu, Ru, Ru, Fu, Ku, Ku. And lastly we have Ke, Le, Me, Ne, Ha, Wa, Ye. For kasra we have Ki, Li, Mi, Ni, Hi, Wi, Yi. For Dhamma we have Ku, Lu, Mu, Nu, Hu, Wu, Yu. Here is an example of a word that's constructed with 3 letters. We have Kaf in green, we have T in black, and B in orange. And each of them has a fatha on them. So the Kaf has a fatha, it's Ka. The T has a fatha, it's Ta. And B has a fatha, it's B. So it's Ka, Ta, B. And the word is Katab. Next example, very similar, except we have. So next we will change the vowel a bit in this word to see how it changed. We have the same 3 letters, Kaf, T, and B. And here also we had Kaf, T, and B. So as we can see in this one, we had fatha on the 3 letters. That's why it sounded like Katab. Now when we change it to fatha, kasra, and dhamma, it becomes Katibu. Katibu. Sukun is a symbol the circle here on a letter. And what is sukun? Sukun is on top of a consonant. This means that there is no vowel on it, and only the sound of the letter is articulated. So if we have sukun on ba, it will sound like b. So just the b sound will be uttered. For example, we have this sound sin fatha. So sin fatha, right away we know it's sa. And we have waw and sukun. It will become sa and then w. Saw. Here we have lam kasra and mim sukun. Lam kasra is li, and mim sukun is m. So just the sound m. So the two letters together will become lim. Lim. So we just hear the m. We don't hear any m, any mi, or any mu. It's lim. Now these are two words. See, here we have three letters: alif, lam, and fa. So on the alif we have a fatha. So right away that's a. Next letter, lam. On the lam we have sukun. So just the sound ul that will be uttered for the second. And for the third one we have fa, and on it we have dhamma. And fa and dhamma makes the sound fu. So al. So here we have l, just l without any vowel. So al fu. Al fu. And this one we have two letters, kaf and mim. On the kaf we have fatha. On the mim we have sukun. Kaf and the fatha is ka, and mim with the sukun is m. The whole thing is kam. And sukun means static. Here are some examples. Ba, dhamma bu, mim sukun bum. Ghain with dhamma is ru, lam sukun is l. The whole thing is rul. Ya with dhamma is you, and mim sukun is m. So the whole word is yum. Here we have hal, daj, kif, wash, fasli. So on the fa we have fatha, on the swad we have sukun, fasli, fasli, tahta, kursiyu, anti, as'aru, baytu, hum, qul, ahmadu, maryamu, imra'atu, hawla, waqti, min. So in Arabic, when we have two letters doubling, we write it once. We put this little symbol like a W, and it's called shidda. So waw shidda represents the two waw together. And this is an example when we have the shidda with the vowel written. So when we have a waw and sukun followed by a waw and fatha, we write it as waw shidda fatha. When we have waw sukun and waw kasra, it becomes waw shidda and kasra under it. And this is the same for dhamma. Let's see an example where we have shidda in the word. So we have three letters in the word: dod, ya, and qaf. So dod and fatha is ba. And we have ya with a shidda. So it will be as if we have two ya. On the first ya, there is a sukun on it, and on the second ya, there is a kasra. So first one has a sukun, so it becomes doy. And then we have the second ya that will sound with the kasra, yi. And then we have the last letter, which is ku. Doyiku. Notice how the ya sounds twice. Doyi, doyi. Nonation. Nonation is tanween. So nonation, what happens when we double the vowel on a letter. So take this example. Kitab. We have the symbol kasra here, and it's doubled in this version. This one will sound like kitaban. For this one, kitabi. And it becomes kitabin. Kitabu, kitabun. Here we see that the fatha is doubled. Ba becomes ban. Here we see the kasra. Bi becomes bin. And bu becomes bun. So a with the tanween, it becomes an. I with the tanween, it becomes in. And u with the tanween, it becomes un. And this n sound after it is it's called the nonation. And what is the function of nonation in Arabic? It's to denote definiteness. We will study what's the meaning of definite and indefinite nouns later on. Example of nonation. So here we have an, the sound an, in, and un. Example, baytan. There is a fatha on this, but I didn't write it here. Baytan, baytin, and baytun. Words. Lesson 3. Words in Arabic language are classified into nouns, verbs, and particles. So all words in the Arabic language will be classified into one of these three categories. Nouns can be the name of a person, can be a place, can be an object, can be a subject, or adjectives. So note in Arabic language, adjectives are considered as nouns. But in English language, adjectives are different category of words. Verbs are words that denote an action. Particles, they are words that should be used with nouns or verbs to make sense. For example, prepositions. Here are some examples of nouns in sentences in English. So the first sentence is, he is eating biryani with a fork. He here is a pronoun, and it's part of the category of nouns. So he is a noun. Biryani is a noun. Fork is a noun. So these are like objects, things, people, or nouns. Second sentence. Yesterday, she bought a book at the shop. She is a noun, and it's also a pronoun. Book is a noun. Shop is a noun. Third, Bilal is very sick. Bilal is a proper noun. And lastly, we have she is afraid but hopeful. She is a noun. Notice that I've written sick, afraid, and hopeful in orange. This is because they are adjectives. Sick, afraid, and hopeful are adjectives. And in Arabic, adjectives are classified into the category of nouns. So in Arabic, the word Arabic for sick, for example, maridun, is an adjective, and it's part of the category noun. Same for afraid in Arabic, and hopeful. Example of verbs in sentences. He is eating biryani with a fork. Is eating is a verb. Yesterday, she bought a book at the shop. Bought is a verb. Bilal is very sick. She is afraid but hopeful. In English, is a verb. But in Arabic, the way we write it, we will leave out the is. So in this case, if we write Bilal is very sick in Arabic, there won't be any verb here. And this will be covered in the chapter of nominal sentences. Sentences, lesson 4. In Arabic, there are two types of sentences. One is called the nominal sentence, and the other is the verbal sentence. A nominal sentence will start with a noun, while a verbal sentence will start with a verb. So sentences, we have nominal and we have verbal. Nominal sentences are further divided into the ones having verbs in them and the ones having no verbs in them. And we have the verbal sentences. So we'll look at these three types of sentences with examples. So this is an example of a nominal sentence without a verb. The boy is happy. So this sentence represents a nominal sentence in Arabic. So the first word is the boy, and the boy is a noun. So the yellow color here is for the boy, and it's translated into al-waladu. Is happy. Happy is masrurun. The sentence is al-waladu masrurun. So the first word in Arabic here is the boy, and the boy is a noun. That's why it's a nominal sentence. And in the sentence, there is no verb. So it's a nominal sentence without a verb. The first word is the boy, and it's a noun, al-waladu. Second word here in English is ate, and this is translated into akala. And the apple is the third word, at-tuffahata. So the sentence is al-waladu akala at-tuffahata. So we see that the first word in Arabic here is a noun. So this word should be a nominal sentence. And does it contain a verb? Yes. Akala is ate. So he ate the apple. So this is an example of a nominal sentence with a verb. And thirdly, we have the verbal sentence. So the verbal sentence will start with a verb as the first word of the sentence. So the first word of the sentence is akala in Arabic, and akala is ate. So akala al-waladu at-tufahata. Since the first word of the sentence is verb, so the whole sentence will become a verbal sentence. So compare with what we saw in the two sentences. Al-waladu here is a noun, so it's a nominal sentence. And al-waladu here also is a noun, so it's a nominal sentence. In the first part of the course, we look at nominal sentences. And in the second part, we'll look at verbal sentences. Nominal sentences, lesson 5. Here we will see an example of a nominal sentence. So in English, the sentence that we'll use is the boy is sick. So a nominal sentence will consist of a subject and something called a predicate. The predicate is a phrase that will explain something about the subject. For example, the boy is sick. So is sick is a predicate that explains something about the boy. So the subject of the sentence is the boy. And if we have to write the same thing in Arabic, it will be, so in Arabic we start from the right, so we have the subject on the right. In English we have the subject on the left. So here we have subject here and subject on the right here in Arabic, and predicate will be on the left. And this is the Arabic sentence equivalent to the boy is sick. So al-waladu, the boy, maridun, is sick. So all nominal sentences will consist of a subject and a predicate. More examples of nominal sentences. So subject is the man is handsome. So the predicate is handsome here. So handsome is saying something about the subject, about the man. So if we translate the man into Arabic, it becomes ar-rajulu, and handsome is jamilun. Both together become the Arabic sentence ar-rajulu jamilun. So this is a nominal sentence that is equivalent to the man is handsome. Another example, the boy is tall. The subject here is the boy. The predicate is tall. So tall is saying something about the subject, about the boy. And if we translate both of them, al-waladu, the boy, is al-waladu. Tall is translated to tawilun. Note that in English there is in between the subject and the predicate. But in Arabic, the is not used here. So it's understood by the way it's written. So we practice, you will understand what's a nominal sentence, and you will be able to spot the subject and differentiate it from the predicate. And both together, al-waladu and tawilun becomes al-waladu tawilun, and this is a complete sentence, a complete nominal sentence, which represents the Arabic version of the boy is tall. A stone, hajarun, hijaratun. A chair, kurusiyun, karasiyun, a tree, shajaratun, ashjarun, narrow, ضيق, ضيقون, ضيقة, ضيقات. A sea, بحر, بحار, a cow, بقرة, أبقار, a mother, أم, أمهات. Fire, نار, a dog, كلب, كلاب, sun. Shamsun. A teacher. معلم. معلمون. معلمة. معلمات. A salesperson. بائع. بائعون. بائعة. بائعات. A brother. أخ. إخوة. A student. طالب. طلاب. طالبة. طالبات. A market. سوق. أسواق. A baker. خباز. A garden. حديقة. حدائق. Truthful. صادق. صادقون. صادقة. صادقات. Painful. مؤلم. مؤلمون. مؤلمة. مؤلمات. Definite and indefinite nouns. Lesson 6. Let's see these two sentences. I will buy a car. I will buy the car. What's the difference between these two sentences? The obvious difference is a car is used in the first one, and in the second one, the car is used. So what's the difference between a car and the car? We use a car when we don't have a specific car in mind. When I say I will buy the car, it means this person I'm talking to knows which car I've decided to buy. So the car is very specific, but a car is not specific. And in grammar, we call this an indefinite noun. So a car is an indefinite noun. The car will be a definite noun. Now, how do we write definite and indefinite nouns in Arabic? So this table shows two columns, indefinite column and definite column. So the difference is in the start and the ending of the word. So it starts with al in the definite noun, while in the indefinite noun it does not start with al. And al in Arabic represents the. The ending does not end with tanween, which is nonation, and in the indefinite form it ends with tanween. So here's an example to illustrate a definite noun and the indefinite version of the noun. So a definite noun is al-bakaratu. So as we said, starts with al, so there must be an al here, and then bakaratu is a word, and it does not end with tanween. So it's not tun, it's tu. So al-bakaratu. So to understand the difference, let's see the indefinite version of it. Bakaratun. So it does not start with al. So while here there's al, ends with tanween, tun, tu. Example of definite and indefinite nouns. A book and the book. So kitabun. So when we are talking about indefinite, it should end with un, enunciation or tanween, and it should not have al in front of it. So a book, which is part of a sentence, is kitabun. The book is al-kitabu. So kaf, ta, alif, and ba are the same, except that there's al here, there's no al here, there's nonation here, and there's no nonation here. Note that there is no equivalent of English a or an in Arabic. Like we say a car or an apple. There's no such particle in Arabic, but the nonation itself here represents this an. So with practice, when you read something ending with nonation, we will understand that it's talking about an indefinite noun. Another example. A boy, waladun, the boy, al-waladu. A moon, qamarun, good, jayyidun, jayyiduna, jayyidatun, jayyidatun. Poor, fakirun, fuqara'un, fakiratun, a cat, kittun, kitratun, a cup, kubun, akwabun, a husband, zawjun, cold, baridun, bariduna, baridatun, baridatun. Milk, halibun. A wife, zawjatun, zawjatun. Light, khafifun, khafifuna, khafifatun, خفيفات. A color. لون. ألوان. hair. شعر. شعور. A mountain. جبل. جبال. short. قصير. قصار. قصيرة. قصيرات. rich. غني. أغنياء. غنية. غنيات. pious. تقي. أتقياء. تقية. تقيات. coffee. قهوة. a city. مدينة. مدن. time. وقت. near. قريب. قريبون. قريبة. قريبات. Sun letters, lesson 7. This is a follow-up lesson from the definite and indefinite nouns. So look at this example. A man means رجل. The man means الرجل. So we have to add al here, and the un becomes u. Now there is a little modification that we have to bring to this word. This is because the first letter in the word is ra. Ra is part of a category of letters called sun letters. Whenever we have the first letter is a sun letter, then we have to bring this modification in the definite form. So the modification is, so ra will double with the shidda here. So ra, shidda, fatha. And also we'll remove the sukun on the lam. So it becomes ar-rajulu, as if there is no lam here. So this is a rule for sun letters. This table shows the 14 sun letters and the other non-sun letters. So these are the sun letters: t, th, dal, dhal, ra, za, sin, shin, sad, dad, ta, dha, lam, noon. So whenever these letters are in the first place, in the definite it will double and the lam will have the sukun removed. So the rule is about no sukun is placed over the lam, but a tashdid is written over the first letter of the word. So example, the street, al-shari'u. So that's the obvious way to write it, but after the modification it becomes ash-shari'u, because shin is part of the sun letters. The fire, al-naru, becomes an-naru. So lam has a sukun removed and the noon is double with shidda, so it becomes an-naru. The sun, al-shamsu, becomes ash-shamsu. Lam having the sukun removed and the shin will have the shidda on it, so it becomes ash-shamsu. This is another example, a market, sukun. So sin is part of the 14 sound letters. So instead of saying al-suku, it will become as-suku. The market, as-suku. Fast. Sari'un, sari'una, sari'atun, sari'atun. Sky. Sama'un, samawatun, little or few, qalilun, qaliluna, qalilatun, qalilatun. Heavy, ثقيل, ثقلاء, ثقيلة, ثقيلات. Far, بعيد, بعيدون, بعيدة, بعيدات. Weak, ضعيف, ضعاف, ضعيفة. A nose, أنف, أنوف. An ear, أذن, أذان. A face, وجه, وجوه.